Welcome back.
Wow. This
The
was
Obra Dinn did not have a good trip.
this was such a powerful frame to end on. And just for anyone who had to wait a week to see what happens next, I want you to know this son of a bitch made me wait a week too.
This was not the best voyage that a ship ever had.
Yeah, what is this? It's like a giant octopus. I guess a kraken, right? Am I using that correctly?
You are using that precisely correctly. Yes, good job.
Wow.
That does appear to be what is happening here.
So
We see giant.
Oh, wow.
I mean, squid rather than octopus, but.
Okay, so we're going back here to our book. So I believe that the person who was killed was the spouse of the captain, right? That seems pretty obvious.
The Doom.
Wow. Corpse was moved post-mortem. Good point. 10 others were present.
There's a lot of people in this scene.
So that was the moment that killed her, was that mast hitting her.
Yep. So you probably can fill in much of her detail.
That's true. So, Captain Witterell. So, I should be able to see this one, I believe, is her. And I guess clubbed would probably work.
Clubbed means hit with a club.
Struck.
They're probably...
Whoa. Not with any of those things.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting. So you don't like clubbed. What? Crushed, maybe? Oh, rigging. Crushed by rigging. Oh, wow. 3 fates correct. Ah, this is what they meant when they said these come in threes.
Yep. And then they turn it into typed.
Sensible.
And now you know what that last page is about.
It's like basically a percentage completed.
Yeah, that's that little circle is going to get all filled up by the time you're done.
Okay, so let's go back to the Doom. Oh, no, damn it. Here we go. Okay. Alright. So, yeah, I think that's all I know from this.
Yep, now you can wander around this scene for a bit.
Why is that happening? I don't think I've seen my hand wiggle like that before. Okay. So I'm looking for 10 people. There's 1, 2...
You're not looking for 10 people, but...
It really wants me to
There
deal
are-
with this pocket watch.
Yeah, it does, but... For your future reference, you never have to click that pocket watch when it pops up like that right away. You can continue wandering and looking this up for as long as you want. It this time just wanted to make sure that you knew that it was a thing and that something was expected of you.
Well... Oh boy.
Do you see anything that seems to be drawing your attention in particular?
Well, there's these pulses.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and this one thing is not changing despite the pulses. And time is going weird. I pressed the A button there. I can't walk away.
You have to click. You got to click one more time.
Huh. Well, oh, okay. This is new.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely going to go back and explore that panorama, though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh.
And that is the last new mechanic, quote unquote, because a lot of bodies are no longer on the ship. But the way it will work is sometimes you will discover a corpse that is of someone that is already dead in a diorama, and the watch will produce that for you.
So is this likely to take me back to the diorama I want to see, or a different one?
Nope, that's going to be a new one. That's going to be that person's death.
Okay, well, I'm going to be that annoying guy that like wants to do this in the right order, like in a
Sure.
completionist way. I'm not going to get distracted by that.
So what I will tell you is that while it is good to make sure you've at least looked around every diorama and know what's in it, it is absolutely the correct call to find all the memories first, before stressing about perfecting each one.
Okay. Is this helping me by scanning these people or
It helps you, the player, to the extent that it helps you get a sense of who is who.
Got it, but it's not like if I hadn't done this, I would still know that that woman was one of the ones in this scene.
Yes, you never, there is no one that you have to scan in order to like populate a field somewhere. The zooming in is only ever for your convenience.
Okay, but still, good to get the lay of the land here.
Yep. And that's all you really want to do with these right now, is get the lay of the land. If you do notice something obvious, or an important clue, by all means fill it in. But I'm just going to straight up tell you, you are better served by finding all the memories before stressing about, squeezing every last drop of information from each one.
I feel ya. I love this guy's hat. This is a real fancy man right here. Pity, what happened to him? So I can't fill in the blanks on any of these individuals, or can I?
Probably not. No, I don't think you've got enough information to identify any of them particularly.
Please explain. Okay, gotcha. Carry on and pay attention.
And again, in my playthrough, I noticed maybe 2 to 3 people that I was pretty sure I could identify, even though they were blurred, and then, afterwards it turned out, yes, I was right. But the vast majority of the time, you don't need to stress about it.
Gotcha.
And that's our
protagonist.
that's Abigail.
Abigail?
Oh, you do know something about that guy.
What do I know about him? Was this from our first encounter, or from this scene I can know something?
From this scene, yes.
Well, I suppose he was one of the ones who was yelling at him. So presumably if I go...
If you just open the book,
yeah,
like instead of zooming in and opening the book, just open the book.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Okay. Martin. There you go. So that's probably Martin.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go with an officer because, fraternizing with the captain's wife. Although I suppose there's only one Martin, so I don't even need to make that leap. Okay, let's go with Martin. So does he not get his own page now? Because I don't know how he died.
Yeah, people get pages when you see the moment of their death.
Okay. So I can fill in his name, but...
Yep.
Okay, I'm starting to figure this out. Alright, I guess there's not too much else to see here. Clearly both staircases are blocked off. Okay, so Kraken. Problem. And there's no other corpses in here, so except for the one, which is now back on our deck.
You only ever get one of those little create a new corpse thing per scene.
Okay. Well, here it is.
I mean, that's what's kind of cool, is you can never get any new information by revisiting a scene. You just get a chance to take a second look at the information that you were given then.
great.
One of the cool things about this art style is it lets him get away with depicting way more gruesome scenes than he could do if it were a more vivid.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's getting ripped in two by Kraken, man.
Mm-hmm. Nope, you have to wait until that first fade out, remember?
Got it. I'm still getting my bearings with the controls here, but okay, that makes sense.
Now, I will flag for you one thing here, which is that this is a person about whom you can make an educated guess of the sort the game absolutely expects you to be able to do.
Okay.
There is no point in the game where this particular person will be referred to by their first name or directly addressed. And yet, you can still completely fill out his fate right now.
Okay. Well, would that be decapitated? That's only the head, right? Oh, torn apart is probably the answer. I'm gonna go with beast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how do I know who this man is?
You don't know, but you can make an educated guess. And it is a sort of educated guess that the game absolutely wants you to be able to make.
Okay, well, he's got the strange markings on him. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that could clue me in. Maybe the location or timing of his death?
All you're trying to get now is who is he? You have everything else you need.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how I would be able to hazard a guess at who he is based on this photo.
What other information might be useful?
Well, I guess who was present at the time of his death, or who he was talking to, the location.
All you can get that is pictures of the people who were there. I'm telling you, you can in fact make a really solid guess about this person's identity.
Hmm. Okay. Well, maybe was he in the crow's nest, for example, or like what's the location he was in to be torn apart?
What do you know about him?
Torn apart by a terrible beast.
No, what do you know about him?
Holding a beer or a cup. Circular tattoos on his body.
So that's it. That's all the information you're ever going to get about this guy. Well, that's not true. You'll get some information later. But you have enough now. He's not blurred. That means you right now have enough information.
Right, because this one is blurred. I have enough information.
Mm-hmm.
But...
And you've listed basically all the information you have. How can you use that information to help you?
Well, does this require some knowledge of sailing that I perhaps lack?
No, it does not.
Well, then, I mean, could I say unknown top man? Because he's on top of the ship?
What could the information you know about him tell you?
Well, he's not wearing a shirt, so he's not an officer.
Mm-hmm.
And the tattoos are not giving me a clue. Should they be giving me a clue?
Yes, they should.
I don't know. I don't know what clue they should be giving me.
Then just look at the possibilities and ask if anything rings a bell.
Was there some story earlier about someone who was
Nope.
tattooed?
Nope. This requires you to use your judgment as a person, as a player.
I mean, are you saying that you think he's the artist because he has tattoos?
Are artists known for having tattoos?
And not any more than anyone else on this list of sailors would be.
Are you sure?
I think I'm sure.
What information are you given here?
Man with tattoos.
No. In that list.
Okay.
What information do you have to work with when trying to pick out an individual person?
Oh, I guess you're right. We have country as well. So maybe there's a... No, none of these countries indicate to me that the individual would be tattooed. I'm not sure. I'm not buying what you're selling.
Okay. Then you simply lack cultural knowledge that is necessary here. So that's okay. We'll put a pin in this and you'll come back to it later. You'll get a little more data later that'll help you narrow down this guy's, what this guy is.
Wow. Interesting. So I'm assuming, based on this conversation, that there's some cultural thing, meaning a country, that the tattoos are a dead giveaway for.
Or at least a strong suggestion towards, yes.
Interesting.
Yep. So I'm not going to literally spoil it for you, but I wanted to flag that as this is the sort of thing the game might ask you to do. No one ever directly talks about the tattoos or calls attention to them or says anything about this person's culture, but you see them. None of the visual details in this game are there accidentally. If you notice some detail about a person or their clothing or their equipment or where they are, like anything you see is intended to help you identify it.
Huh. Well, I guess that would make sense since it's only 2 bits of graphics. You got to use every pixel.
Yeah, but my point is, the game wants you to make educated guesses, like the one I was trying to nudge you towards.
Okay. Well, let's see where our next corpse is. So that previous scene feels similar to the scene before it. Okay, we've got another corpse here.
Mm-hmm. I really like that weird sort of smoke trail effect.
Yeah. Whoa. They like the crash cuts in this game.
Mm-hmm. Although not always. It's just that most of the deaths tended to be really sudden.
Okay, so this is useful right here, because I wouldn't have caught that there's a body in there.
Except that it started you out staring at it.
And when I hold down the left trigger.
You always start the memory looking straight at the dead person. Remember, it hasn't... you can't...
Oh,
you have to stay in the scene for 30 seconds first.
Ooh, we get to go down there, though. Maybe. So many guns. Oh, so another interesting thing I'm realizing is we'll keep going backwards in time because we need to find someone already deceased in each scene.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I kind of understand a little more why you're saying don't obsess over every scene, because yeah, it's like Memento. I'm learning the story forward but in
Yeah,
reverse.
it is kind of fun because you also it's not part of the game or not your mission, but you slowly over the course of the game reconstruct the story of the Obra Dinn.
Yeah.
And it's very
Exploded?
bad, no good, terrible, horrible expedition.
Yes. Okay. Get to the main bit quick. Okay.
I don't know what the main bit is, and I'm pretty sure it's okay if you don't.
I don't know, man. You're expected to know which cultures had tattoos in this sailing era. Let's see. Wonder if I'm going to be able to go down here. Seems like no. It's unfortunate.
But the fact that that door opened in the memory means that it will now be open for you on the actual ship.
So many rules, but you're right.
Yeah, it's just to gate progression, basically.
Kind of elegant, actually.
I love that the perfectly steady door. I think it's just such a minor effect, but I think it's really cool.
Okay. Let's see what's down here. Oh boy. I see some flies over there. Can I loot the chest?
No, and I'll tell you, there's never, ever any time where you have to look in something like that. Like, there's no openable objects or drawers or anything like that.
There are some inconveniently placed cannons.
Yeah, not that inconvenient. It's just the game only ever gates your progress with doors, not objects.
I did see that corpse back there, but
Yep, I know.
just getting the lay of the ship.
Well, so the path actually diverges here. There are 2 corpses accessible to you. Oh, I see you discovered the poop deck.
Go on.
It's a joke. You found the toilets.
I didn't even realize that I had done that. Is that back here?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was a stove.
No.
Incorrect.
No, it's not a stove. Also, the poop deck is the raised deck at the rear of the top of the ship. Yeah.
Right. So you said there were 2 corpses in here.
Yep.
I've obviously seen that one a couple of times now. I'm not sure that I've found the other yet. Have I?
You haven't. But you have found clues that can tell you where the other is to be found.
Well, I'm just going to start here.
Okay. Totally valid. That cannon is off the force. I need that cannon's badge and gun on my desk by 5 p.m.
Yeah, he's a loose cannon. Okay, sorry. Let's see. Yeah, I think I have a pretty
That
good
is one
idea
of the
what
sort of
happened there.
annoying things about the zoom-in mechanic is it'll frequently be the case that the silhouette is blocking the picture.
Right. Well, that's a mess. Oh, yeah, got some more tentacles. So this is still at that point in the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if at the end of this, the whole thing is going to play out like a movie.
No, it's not.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, no, it doesn't ever quite do that, but you can, like I said, you can reconstruct the story.
Crushed by a loose cannon. Okay.
Man, the sound design in this game is so simple but so effective.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh man, it's beautiful, I gotta write home about it. Like some indie one-person games have legitimately like amazing soundtracks that I will listen to on their own forever. This isn't quite at that level, but it's really good at what it does.
For sure. Well, that takes care of that. Ugh, wow.
That's a bad one. That's a bad one.
Is his head somewhere else?
Yep. Well, the molecules which once constituted his head are in various other places.
Yeah. Okay, so this appears to be just moments before. I don't see any new doors opened.
Yeah, there's a number of scenes in the Doom here that come very, very rapid fire, and you really do need to cross-reference between them to get a sense of what happened.
This guy's about to get pegged by that cannon, I presume.
Possibly. I don't know if is that the same guy who is going to get crushed by the cannon next?
Does it tell me?
Well, if you zoom in, you'll see the picture.
We'll check that in a moment.
Oh, no, that was the guy with the knife in his mouth attacking the captain at the end.
Oh, wow.
So, he survives this scene.
Oh, we got two corpses.
Which is fascinating because you can only see one.
Yeah. Okay. So... yeah.
Now, you can at least identify one of them.
Yeah.
Or the cause of death for one of them.
Exploded.
I think that would actually go under shot. Exploded is like what happened to the guy up top.
It did fill in was blasted by an explosion.
Yeah, but it wasn't an explosion. He was... like, there was a cannon firing at him.
Oh.
But the problem there is you have to figure out who fired the cannon.
It doesn't seem like there's anyone, but I guess the fuse could be long enough.
Mm-hmm. As I said, you're going to need to cross-reference several scenes in a row to get all the answers you need.
Oh, this guy. Alright.
You don't, I will straight up tell you, you do not have enough information to decide anything about this person yet.
I'm trying to see if there's a way to have the game tell me where he is.
Bookmark memories. Oh, you mean where he physically is in this scene?
Yeah.
No, there is not.
Depicted in underway.
That's which of, yeah.
Okay. Perished. Show memories on deck map.
That's where the memories where this person appears.
Okay.
I'm just going to save you some effort. You do not have enough information to figure out what is going on with that guy yet.
So for some reason, the game wants me to believe or knows that that individual is dead, but I can't see his body. Oh, maybe this is it. Is that a
You
body?
need to see a face to place someone. You can't identify someone by their feet.
So... Alright. Okay, game, you're trying to be so freaking clever. Ah. And it's gonna drive me right towards it. Okay, fair enough. Should have just let the game take me for a ride.
The impulse to try and find all the information you can is a very good one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, there are some of them where it's like, dude, I know exactly where you're going. Stop farting around, like, circling the mass. Just make the fucking corpse already.
Okay, so I guess what happened was somebody lit this thing. Maybe even him.
Mm-hmm.
And then moments later it blows up and it kills presumably 2 people here. Or at least 1 person. Okay, that's useful information.
Exactly. See, now this gives you critical details about the previous scene you saw, the next chronologically, that lets you figure out what on earth happened, because all you saw there was a dude with his head missing. But now you see the moments right before his death.
So I think 3 people may have died in this exchange.
Yeah, as a start. I mean, a lot of people died.
How did he die? Crushed by a cannon?
Or by a beast.
Or by a beast. Or by a beast holding a cannon.
I believe when you choose... Well, yeah. Either one's fine. The thing is that the game will actually allow you to put multiple different things. Like, and get it right.
Right.
It's pretty... There's somewhere it's very flexible about that. Just for your reference, do you know what belay is?
Like, cancel, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I know that from Star Trek.
Very good.
Which is actually kind of about sailing in its own way.
Yeah. Well, it uses nautical terminology. If you zoom in on those 2 people at the front of the cannon, you should recognize them.
Okay.
Those are the 2 people who died in the last scene you looked at.
Okay.
So just, that's extra confirmation that, like, yes, this is moments before the next scene.
So this was the guy who was blasted with a cannon. Oh, but I don't know who the other guy is. And their faces were all blurry, so I guess
Yeah, you have no way of knowing who that guy is yet.
And then how do I think this guy died? It looks like he would probably have also gotten blasted if that's what happened to the other guy. I'm gonna go for it. So far, I don't really know what the penalty is for getting it wrong.
There's no penalty other than accidentally confusing yourself.
Blasted with a cannon. Okay, so I should do the same one. I think these were both blasted with a cannon by an unknown attacker.
Alright.
And this guy was crushed by a terrible beast. Yep, going with that. Okay. Does this mean that something else has opened up now?
Nope. I think this means you now have to find another corpse out on the actual ship.
Okay. No idea how these guys died yet.
Correct.
Okay. Let's get out of here. Is there any way to know that I've already looked at a corpse?
Yes, because your watch is open when you pull it out.
Ah.
If your watch is still closed, it's a fresh corpse.
Sensible. Okay. So we're back here. Is this the galley?
I'm not sure, but the ship's map will tell you if you're really curious.
The ship. Deck plans.
Huh. It's not actually labeled what that is.
Gun deck, though.
Yeah.
Can. We are looking for a corpse.
Yeah. Look, where do you tend to find corpses?
On the ground.
Okay, so I would be looking at the ground carefully.
Is that clock telling me the time that they died relative to each other?
No, I don't believe so. Though maybe it is, I don't know, but that's definitely not important.
Okay. We shall continue our search.
So you can open some doors. You can't open doors marked with an X like that.
Oh, this one's open. And here's a corpse. Is that a newly opened door, or was that open the whole time?
Look at the door,
Well, it's fuzzy.
which means it was not open the whole time.
Oh. So you believe that there's another corpse in here still?
Uh-huh.
Well, why am I so dumb?
Because you're not looking at the ground.
I am looking at the ground.
But you have go back through the deck, paying attention to the ground.
Okay. I mean, there's been, like, big obvious flies when there's a corpse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, so we've got some blood here. And a knife. Oh. Okay, so some doors can be opened.
Yeah, any door that doesn't have an X on it can be opened.
Okay, so I gotta start paying more attention.
Yeah. X doors are either locked or plot locked.
I like that. Plot locked. Alright. Well, I know one of these is a corpse, so I'm just gonna quickly scan the others.
Although, well, I don't want to tell you what to do. I'll tell you that the one at the end of the ship that was through the plot locked door that is now open is another one from the Dinn chapter, and that the other one is a different chapter.
Got it. No, I want to do the one that we should be doing here.
There's not one that you should be doing. There's not a correct order.
I want to finish what we started. Let's get the whole Dinn
Okay.
chapter unlocked. My little brain can only hold so many facts at once. Okay, so I've learned how to open doors.
Good.
A skill that I've now demonstrated more than 8 times.
Okay.
No, you're gone.
Don't leave me.
Bear up, son. I'll stay with you.
Tell Pete's mother I tried my best
Aye.
to pull him back to save him.
You tell her yourself. Brennan! Bring the surgeon's kit!
Okay, Pete and Brennan.
Also, this is the one that isn't from the Doom.
Oh.
Good listening skills.
Oh. Who? You or me?
You! I told you which one was from the Doom. You're like, oh, I'll go do that. And then you didn't. Which is fine.
But you are an idiot.
Yes.
Oh, man. Okay, so this person... Oh, wow. Yeah, there's some dead up here.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's listening. Escape.
I really like this little theme that plays. You don't have enough information. However, there is one thing you can usefully conclude right now. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Okay.
Or about who it is. But there is one piece of information you can pull out of this scene.
Well, there's this Ock. I don't know if this is trying to tell me more information about the background.
I will tell you, there is no point where you have to distinguish between Irish and Scottish or English accents.
That's good.
The game is not that mean. I think it is the case that if you have a good enough ear to tell the difference, then that is useful. Like, they were careful about making sure they had it right. But you definitely do not need to be able to distinguish between Irish and Scottish by ear.
So we're just yelling to Brennan to bring the surgeon's kit, but that doesn't mean that Brennan's the surgeon, and he says bear up son, but that doesn't mean he's his son.
No, it definitely doesn't mean that. But it does imply that the one who died is, younger.
Sure. Oh, and I guess I know a little bit about... No, all I know is he's cut, so I don't really know how he was cut.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, bled to death is an option.
It isn't. And you do actually have to figure out what mortal injury he sustained in particular.
So you think there's some information I can figure out from this?
There's one piece of information that you can.
Well, this guy's listening, and he's holding a club of some sort. Maybe something to do with the clothing they're wearing? No?
One nice thing he does is that people generally wear the same outfit in every scene, maybe taking something on or off, but they never change clothes. If you're not seeing it, you're not seeing it. Then don't stress about it.
Yeah, it would be interesting perhaps for someone to watch your first playthrough, although I know that's not possible, because I have a feeling your perception checks would be a little higher.
What fascinates me is that you've noticed all the details I want you to notice, but you're not putting them together. Like, you're not missing things for the most part. You're just not seeing the connections.
I guess I'm going down this rabbit hole now. Didn't mean to.
You're not seeing the connections yet.
Okay, well, someone's been... Whoever this is has been beaten by someone else. And this is the escape, so I guess there's, not enough lifeboats to escape or something. some reason for a bunch of people to be upset about who's escaping.
By the time you get all the scenes unlocked, you'll know why. That's not going to be ambiguous.
And here he is crawling. Oh, I can follow the pile of blood.
Yes, also, do you notice anything about him?
Oh, knife in the back. Okay, useful.
So, one data point now.
Yep, and that knife was on the ground earlier.
Later.
Right.
Alright, we're not going to find a really great stopping point, so I think we should pause here for now.
Okay. Well, should I just go ahead and really quickly mark that guy was stabbed before we forget?
Go for it. And you can probably say something about how this guy died, too.
Okay. So let's see. This one was stabbed, knifed,
Hmm.
and let's see. This guy was clubbed. Yeah.
Alright. And I think this is where we should stop for the night.
Okay, well, good playing with you. Seems like
Lots more people still to die, don't worry.
many more questions still to answer.
Yeah.
Cool. See you next
You're
time.
getting into it, though. I'll tell you, the perception's good. You just gotta think, like, you're not gonna find things spelled out perfectly. You want to start just making educated guesses. The game is designed such that it will reward thoughtful guesses. It won't reward blind guesses. But if you see two things and think, oh, that's probably what's happening, trust your gut on it.
Got it.
Because you solved one rather important puzzle. You know, you made one important. You have stated explicitly all the information you need to identify a person or a death or something like that, but you didn't connect the data points correctly.
Interesting.
So, I'll leave that for you to think on for until next week.
Okay, sounds good.
Or kick yourself while you're editing the video, one or the other.
I'm sure it'll probably be both.
All right.
See you then.